Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. So I saw that Mrs. Shira, the sprinkle lady, if you will, has finally responded to all the texturism and featureism, colorism, whatever, all the isms, whatever they, what's that, colonialism, what's that word? Capitalism, all the little isms, she's responding to it. And I know people know this, but if you don't, she's not a love coach, she's a financial advisor. So throwing the capitalism isms on her is not going to work. She's still going to be drinking her Starbucks, she's going to be doing her thing. So that was a bust for people that tried to cancel her on that. But the new thing they're trying to cancel her on is texturism. So, and I know a lot of people take things out of context for clickbait, so I'm really not going to entertain like the people that are just spewing what everyone else is spewing without doing their own research. But for the people that have always had like this anti-blackness disdain towards her, and I did a video on Ashira's anti-blackness debunked if you want to watch that. But a lot of people have already had this disdain. So when they found the clips of her saying, which of course are old clips, because a lot of people, I've been watching Ashira for like maybe 4 or 5 years, and this is actually going to be like a little sneak peek real quick though, off topic. I'm going to be doing another like woo woo video. So and these are fun for me because sometimes these colorism topics can be like so heavy, but it's inspired by Ashira and it's from like her woo woo channel, not the sprinkle one, the spiritual one, which is how I was introduced to her originally. And if you do spiritual practices, her should be working like really, really good. And so when I started watching her debunked videos, she had all these different things. And I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, so you're going to have to wait for my next upload, but it's going to be inspired by that. Okay, so back to the topic. They found some old clips of her saying that she was telling women that if they want a certain provider, that they can't have big curly hair. It just doesn't go with the scene. And I'm going to play you guys some clips. So again, I'm not going to like be talking about the people that just watched a 30-second clip and took it out of context, but for the people that are genuinely taking this conversation seriously, who don't even want to have a hypergamous relationship. They're looking for love. So I don't even understand why you'd be listening to her, because what she says is not going to apply to you. In fact, it would be the contrary. And I'm going to show you guys another clip from this lady on TikTok. She does like breakdowns. They're insane. But I'm going to show you guys that clip too after the Ashira one. But basically her whole smell is that it's actually the opposite. So I've noticed a lot of dusty men love natural hair. So on the contrary, why wouldn't leveled up men like smooth hair? And why is that inherently racist when it's simply a symbol of elegance to some people? Now, why that is, of course, is racism, but we're going to get into the topic. So I'm going to show you guys this video, so sit back and relax.
Of it all, and why this and why that. I'll just say, if you just sit and ponder and think about something, why they have to make a law to not discriminate due to hair for employment, you should understand what other people are thinking at the same time. That's not in charge of giving you a job. You know what I'm saying? And it's the harsh reality that we live in that we can't ignore. But if we have strategy and knowledge, we can literally make it work for us instead of against us. And a lot of people don't realize this. Some people don't want to hire a woman because their hair is a different color or a length that's not, attractive. And so they'll hire somebody with a longer hair or a different hair color or a different hair texture or a different hairstyle. This goes for all races, not just one. So just learn and use the wisdom and the knowledge to get more instead of being upset, because that doesn't bring you any money. Okay, you gotta go for what makes sense and what gives you money, not what makes you upset and triggered. And let's go into it more economically. And this is not politically correct, but it's just the truth. So people that own a lot of things, people that own land, people that own businesses, people that own large corporations, people that own a lot of stuff and have a lot of wealth, People want to be more associated with wealth, let's get this straight, than with people that don't have anything. This is why the law had to be put in place. This is why a lot of people go for what is universally appealing, because it also speaks of who owns everything. Until people can own more and opulence looks a different way, that's what's going to be attractive. It's not anything to do with, oh, what do you prefer? It's psychologically embedded that it's represented with wealth, with opulence, with luxury, with owning stuff. You understand what you meant, me, men and most associate straight hair with more polished look. It's unfair and biased, yes, but is it still true? It is true. Yes, we have to look at the truth. We got to look in the mirror. We got to look in the mirror. So we got to understand. We got to say, you know what? It ain't right, but it's true. So I'm gonna get this money and I'm gonna do what I do. And the whole point of it is to grow your money, to grow your money. And then when
So again, I like to point out that she's basically referencing her advice that she specifically gave on hair with affluent men. Meaning these men, it's a psychological thing when you see old Hollywood hair and you associate that with elegance and wealth. So, and again, if you take like your mind out the gutter and don't like make yourself like a victim, it really has nothing to do with race. And some things is like low key, everything has to do with race, seriously. But I feel like this specific topic, this wasn't her way of saying I hate curly hair or anything like that, or curly hair isn't attractive. But she'll go on to say that women prefer her curly hair, whereas men, regardless of what they say they do and don't prefer, if you want money, not love or attention or a guy to love you for you, you want money, you have to look a certain way, and that's just the way it is. And if you guys are talking about leveling up and being hypergamous, this is what comes with it. Now, I'm not saying there's no guys that don't like natural hair. And again, she says if that works for you, do it. But if it's not working for you, switch up your hair and see if it works. And if it does, you can slide your wig off and be yourself and you're not getting paid. But I think of it as a uniform. You'd get up and look a certain way for a certain job. Why not for that? So that's just my personal preference on that. But I also again like to say when it comes to the universal appeal, 4C hair is the most unique and rare hairstyle, which is why only a certain group of ethnic people have it. And that's what makes it so unique and beautiful. And all its different textures, not even just 4C, just black hair in general. And the fact that it's rare means it's exotic, you know? So I think 4C hair is exotic. It's rare. Not everyone has it. And in some places in the country, if you have 4C hair, they'll just be in awe by you and think you're like a goddess. So I think 4C hair is beautiful. I think it's exotic. But we've all heard the term distracting for the workplace, whether it's your makeup, your style, your hair. We've all heard that. And instead of taking it personally, you can just think of it literally as like a uniform. You know what I mean? So, and I think of it as like a hairnet cap. Like if you ever work around food and you have to wear a hairnet, is to keep everybody protected and stuff. And I'm gonna get into different reasons why wigs are actually super duper cool. There's physical reasons like lymph retention or spiritual reasons like veiling. So we're gonna get into that as well. But I think what she was basically saying is I want you to get as much money as possible, and this look is going to get it. Anything else is your prerogative. So I think that's where the video was taken out of context.
that it's gonna get my bag up quick. Okay. I did an experiment, y'all. I posted a post saying nearly the same thing, wearing a wig or my straight hair, and then one of my curly. Guess which one got like 10 times more clicks? Because that's just what it is. Okay. And if you're going to go by, you know, learning, you're going to go by the numbers, then you got to pay attention. You got to know what works. Okay. Thank you. And a lot of people don't realize this. I like my hair, but I'll throw it back and put a wig on it in a second. I'll switch my wig in a second. Different hair colors, different texture, different lengths to go do what I need to go do. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't bother me. I understand what it is. And I understand that I can get what I need to get out of doing what I need to do. And a lot of people can like say, well, if we start to normalize accepting or liking this, you can normalize anything you want. But unless it's backed by wealth, it's never going to stay normalized. So the whole point is to get money. And then a lot of things will change. Get money first. Stop being emotional. You don't have any land, any property, any major corporations. No one is going to look at an example of a person that owns all of those things and thinks that's the way to look, the way to be, the way to talk, the way to walk, because it's not associated with wealth and opulence. So get the money, ma'am. Get the money, sir. And then you can do what you want to do, and other people will follow. Okay. If y'all can't understand this and your emotions are too in the way.
So I was thinking about one of Ashira's really old videos, and I'm pretty sure it was on her spiritual channel as well. And the title was hilarious. I didn't like watch the whole video; I just got like the gist of it. And the title of the video was "White Jesus Statue in Nigeria." Why? Question mark, question mark. So I clicked on it like, okay, that tickled me. That's hilarious. And basically what she was saying is, and you would think out of all the places where Black Jesus would be popular, it would be Africa, right? That's where that nigga from. Like, I don't know. But she gets there and white Jesus everywhere. So, and if you know anything about Black America, there's always a Black Jesus in our church. There's a Black Santa Claus in our house. Like, that's just how we are. But in Africa, it's white Jesus everywhere. You know, maybe not everywhere, but wherever she went, that's all she saw. So she asked one of the locals there, like, hey, like, what's up with this? And the guy basically told her, white Jesus equals white man. Black Jesus equals black man. Black man poor, white man rich. So we pray to white Jesus so we can have what he has. I shit you not. You can look it up. I gave you the title. You can see it for yourself. So basically, I think that that's where this is coming from. If you take out like the texturism, whatever isms you want to put on it, it more has to do with the illusion of opulence and, you know, exquisiteness and refinery and, you know, upscale things. Like it has a certain look to it, and you don't have to be whitewashed or anything to enjoy that look. And if you want that lifestyle, like the least you can do is fit the aesthetic. Like you can't say like I want to be fancy and you don't even know what a salad fork is. You know what I mean? It's just certain things you do, and they don't even go for fancy people. If you want to join a gang, you're gonna get initiated. Like you're gonna get jumped. Like regardless of what you want to do in life, the least you can do is have respect for the group that you want to get into, and this is what is required of you. And the only way to change that is, guess what? Get your money, because she literally said this has to do with the reflection of how we view money here in America. In another country, it's something else. How we view skinny women as beautiful, but in a lot of places, women are getting force fed because fat is beautiful. It's all about the illusion and playing the game. So it's if you really want to switch it, which again, Exoticals United always says that this isn't about social justice, it's about switching the beauty hierarchy. The least you can do is be hypergamous, because once your look is the standard of beauty, you can do whatever you want when it comes to this game. So that's why I respect her share, because she's a financial advisor and you're not going to flip it, without making money, period. The only reason why white and white adjacent women are the standard of beauty is because of colonism, period. Because white men, they conquered shit. So get your bag, conquer your shit. And I think the more we do that, the better. And of course, I want to show you guys another video actually that kind of explains where Shira was kind of wrong on this, and why a lot of people were like, outside of like the colorism crybabies that are just, oh my god, she's a texture, blah, blah, blah. Like outside of those people, the people that really like had something to say, like, wait a minute, hold on, I have a rich boyfriend and he loves my natural hair. We're gonna get into that and why that kind of makes sense on both ends.
Okay, so it's been a big debacle about the Sheraseven thing and the natural hair comments, and you know how natural hair doesn't attract a certain type of man. And I feel like no one's bringing sociology into the conversation, so let's bring it in, okay? So we can really understand where the disconnect is coming from. Okay, let's talk about what she said that I feel like is completely correct, okay? She's saying, okay, if you want a guy that's 50 plus, she advocates for 50 plus, okay? She advocates for older men, okay? If you want him, high value as well, high value him, right? You're gonna have to get that wig. I agree with this, okay? You're gonna have to fight with his wife. His wife gonna be in there trying to get it too, the one he loves to cheat on, and you're gonna have to grab that joint, you're gonna have to slap that joint on. Because otherwise, no, because they have a lot of stigma towards natural hair. Now, here's the difference. Younger black men don't have that same stigma. Our generation, younger generation, when I say younger generation, I'm talking about going down this way, okay? Once you get up to the 50, 60, and I'm going to talk about several incidents that like confirms this, but once you get up here, nah. But when you get down here, yeah. I've dated engineers. I've dated dudes in real estate. I've dated dudes in tech. I've dated all types of dudes, full fro. I blocked my face out a bit because I've been called a misandrist, I've been called a misogynist, I've been called a racist, I've been called an Islamic phobe and a homophobe, and members of the bonnets have personally came out against me. So I don't have time to be fighting with my civilian job because now I'm probably gonna be ageist. So, you know, people get my sense of humor, some don't, they hate me. Some love me, great. I mean, I love reading the comments, I really, really love my followers. But yeah, I would let y'all fight to find what I really fully, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I say all that to say I've been wined and dined full fro, okay? I've been wined and dined on the fro, okay? By the younger generation, high value men. So our generation don't view natural hair the same way as they do, okay? Perfect example. This doesn't look classless to me. Neither does this. Neither does this. You know, all these natural hairstyles look fine. You can easily blow your hair out, do flexi rods, do that. Slick your bun. All this, these are sister locks. This looks fine to me. This is a, you know, quick hairstyle you could do. It looks fine to me. None of this looks classless to me. And to him neither. To some of these guys, if you don't got this joint on, they don't even understand it. Okay, here's some crazy incidents to prove my point. I'm at work, at my desk. I have a purple dress on, very frilly, and I have my fro out. My supervisor comes up to me and says, "Whoa, you looking really militant today." I was confused because I was like, what is she talking about? You know, I look militant. I was like, kind of looked at my outfit. I was like, I look militant. And then she went into the office and I thought about it. I was like, oh my gosh, she's talking about my fro. She came back out. She was like, do you protest a lot? I was like, never. I don't think I've ever protested. She was like, oh, okay. And she just looked at me kind of like disappointed. Okay, next incident. I'm walking down the street. This older black, mind you, these are older black people doing this stuff. Come up to me and said, that's right, sister, you let them know. We ain't having it. I'm sitting here like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Renee? What are you talking about? To him, I was making a statement. I was saying something. We're not having it. My hair was saying something. This is just me doing my hair. I'm just walking. I'm not trying to say nothing. But for him, yeah, that's right, sister. I'm like, okay. Next incident, I was at the gas station. I thought this old black man had busted in front of me. He really didn't when I really thought about it. But the way that the gas station was kind of like discombobulated, I thought he busted in front of me. So I got in the front. I'm like, no, I'm getting my stuff. And then he looked at me. He said, you old nappy head. I don't know what it was after that. But he was like, with your old nappy headed blank, who knows? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm getting my stuff, whatever. And I kind of walked away. But what I thought was kind of interesting, he immediately attacked my hair. Like, that was the first thing he did. And mind you, his hair wasn't too far from mine. But yeah, immediately attacked my hair. Last incident, I'm at the library, sitting at the computer. Black man, older black man, come up to me, says, I appreciate what you doing out here, sister. I'm like, what are you what? He was like, I just appreciate what you doing. I see you out here, and I appreciate what you're doing out here. Like, okay. You know, once again, talking about the fro. I have a lot more to say about this, but I'm going to put it in part 2.
Yeah, so in my personal opinion, it kind of reminds me of seafood. How once upon a time, like not even that long ago, like maybe like 50, maybe 80 years ago, seafood was considered a poor man's food. And eating a bunch of lobsters and scallops and oysters and crab and all that good stuff. Caviar, all even a caviar, I think was always a little bit more of a luxury, but not the way it is now. How expensive it is, which is kind of like one of my new obsessions lately. By the way, I love caviar. My favorite is just a regular white surgeon. But I also like salmon roe too. If you're a caviar girl, you know. But if you haven't tried it, you really should. You should always try something at least once. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, like how once upon a time, these things were like, you know, considered not desirable until like rich people started raising the prices on it. And now people are paying like $60 for a seafood boil. You know what I mean? So that's how I think about it. And that's why you should always get the bag. That's why I really like Ashira, because she is a financial advisor. And sometimes you got to take your feelings out of that if you want to prioritize, you know, leveling up and social climbing and stuff like that. And another way to take your feelings out of it, and just listen, if you have a disdain towards women that don't have to do that, because there's a clip of this girl saying, well, my natural hair is different from your natural hair, blah, blah, blah. The best way to take your feelings out of it is to think that white women have to do it too. Do you really think Marilyn Monroe would be Marilyn Monroe if she wasn't a blonde? Like, be for real. Like, sometimes you just got to play the game. And I also think that when it comes to exoticals, the reason why they're so beautiful, in my personal opinion, this is how I've always felt about it, is that they're a mixture of so many different cultures. So you're getting like the best of both worlds. I've always found that MGM communities had the most beautiful people, regardless of the genetic mix-up in regards to race, because regardless of like whether you have white and you, black and you, Asian, whatever. Because I think for the term exoticals, it's mixed with black, or if you look like you're mixed with black, I don't know. But I think all of those ethnic groups are just so gorgeous because there's so many different. Like I always thought, like Hawaiian people, Hispanic people, Indian people, even though they are their own different cultures, just my personal opinion, there's only like three races, like the three primary colors. Like there's only like three or four races, and everything else, the culture wise and ethnic wise, is just an added mixture of those things, if that makes sense. So I find that in my personal opinion, and I think everyone's beautiful in their own way, but in my personal opinion is that it's just a mixture of all the beautiful different things of all the beautiful different cultures. So if that's a way where you don't have to make it so personal, and you can find a way to make yourself multi-ethnic or multicultural, or just more interesting, and use your phenotype, regardless of what that may be. Because I know a lot of black girls who aren't from Africa at all will use African beads and African things to give that aesthetic, because it's beautiful, and that is, exquisite and exotic and foreign and gorgeous in its own way, even if that's not necessarily your culture. So that's just a fun way to not make it so, like uncomfortable if you feel like you're insecure about changing up your look to get some money. And also, this is unfortunate, but I don't make the rules here. A lot of times, regardless if it's male, female, black, white, young, old, when people see natural hair, they see it as a statement. Not necessarily masculine in my personal opinion, but just more like a statement. And I think in some ways that's actually very gorgeous. But if you're not trying to give off that vibe, people will see you as a freedom fighter. They will see you as a member of the Black Panther movement if you're walking around like with a big afro, unfortunately. And Dusties find that attractive because they think you're low maintenance. They think that you want to stick it to the white man and you'll go 50-50 with them, even if that might not be you at all. And the only way to change that is to get your money. You got to get the money so you can flip the script. So that's what I would personally do. And I think one of the beautiful instances that people have done that is the Crown Act, where it's like, look, I'm gonna get my bag with my natural hair if I want to. Fire me if you want. We're gonna file a case on you. So I thought that was a smart way to get the bag and still be able to do it on your terms. So whether you're doing it like that, or you're saying, fuck it, I'm finna put on a wig, I'm finna hit a pinky doll, put on this filter, I'm gonna get the bag, whatever you're doing, that's the key. Because without that, you're not going to be able to flip the script. So I just found that really interesting. And I just wanted to break that down. If you got to the end of this video, thank you so, so much. And of course, have a beautiful day.